Perfect. Yeah, baby!
Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. I'm Russ Dunn. This is my travel vlog. I appreciate you guys checking me out, subscribing, and following me on Instagram. Still quarantined, but I'm still keeping it creative with my Ibiza travel vlog today. It's exciting because this is the first time I get to club in Ibiza and cut it together. But still quarantining. I still need a haircut. The thing about Ibiza, which I like so much, number one, it's close to Spain, and Spain is always a great time. I was coming from Italy. I was the only American black dude on the plane. The whole plane was Italian. I was the only dude of color on that plane. It was kind of weird. We get to Ibiza. I didn't realize Italian had such a huge influence on this island. It was like all Italians. It was such a party island, especially where I stayed. I stayed in Spanish Town, Old Town, Ibiza. And it kind of reminded me of Miami a little bit because Miami has Ocean Drive, Collins, and Washington, which is the party side if you've ever been to Miami. And then the other side is like the Bay side, which is quiet, it's the locals. So where I stayed in Ibiza, and they pronounce it Ibiza, they have like a lisp a little bit, like Ibiza, because I'm American, Ibiza. You know what, I'm not even gonna talk about it. Let's just jump into the video. Tell me what you think of Ibiza. So off top, like I said, I'm coming from Italy. It was a little overcast over there, coming from Rome in particular. But as soon as we got into that Spanish atmosphere, I managed to stick the camera out and film the approach, which was gorgeous. I mean, right off the top, I was like, yo, this island looks fire. So they have the opening parties in May and the closing parties in September. I'm there in September for the closing parties because my friend who's a local, Roser, she told me that the closing parties are better. And day one, let's get it. This is my apartment that my homegirl hooked up. Look, I'm stealing the neighbor's Wi-Fi, so I gotta have my phone like right here. And I have this phone too. I gotta be like right here by the door using my internet that I'm stealing from the neighbor. It's crazy, everything is in Spanish. Of course, I'm in Spain. It's the little things you take for granted though, like the washing machine. Like, I don't even know what that is. Alagon, you know, I guess that's program. You know, you could figure out some of them. The oven, I know how to use the oven. Fridge, you know, just it's almost like Miami a little bit. It's almost like Miami a little bit. Of course, the bedroom. The homie's an artist, so he's got his art all over the place. Like, they really take care of me in Ibiza. Like, I'm my first time here, so they really, I know it's a mess. And then that's the bathroom, of course. Now, a lot of Americans, I probably got some ghetto friends and they don't know what that is. That is called a bidet, all right? You wash your ass with that. But in Americans, you probably get in the shower, which is easier. It's like too much, isn't it? But that's pretty much it. Ibiza, got that pit bull blast in the background. A couple of dudes outside in Speedos. See the pool over there. I've seen one American car. It was a Charger? Yeah, it was a Charger. Pretty dope. That's pretty much it. Little video diary out here in Ibiza. Put this back, get some more internet. So this is my homegirl Rosa. Shout out to Rosa. I love this girl. She's like a sister to me. She took care of me. She's the apartment I was staying in while she stayed with her boyfriend. Her and her boyfriend are in real estate, so they pretty much know everyone on the island. So right now we're at, she decided to take me to get something to eat at Bar Car Rafal. Hope I'm saying that right, Bar Car Rafal. And it was like an Italian Spanish fusion. The food was good. The food was delicious. Rosa and her boyfriend pretty much know everyone on the island, so Ibiza's expensive.
This is like a typical Italian sandwich, we could say it, or Italian bocadillo, as we used to say in Spain.
So the clubs, some dinners, a lot of stuff I got free. Like, it really was a great experience. She gave me her apartment for a week. I know her boyfriend was mad at me. Day 2 rolls around and I rented a scooter and just drove all over the island. It took about an hour, maybe a good 45 minutes to get from one side to the other. But for the first day or two, I was just exploring my side. I didn't go to the other side till like maybe day 3, 4, 5. And once I saw that side, I saw it, had a good time, and then just pretty much chilled on my side because it was a lot quieter. But there's clubs on both sides. But the good clubs were on my side. So yeah, at this point, I'm just going to all these peaks. You know how I do. I stick the GoPro on the front of the bike, the front of the go-kart, the front of the golf cart, the front of the taxi, whatever it is, and just capture the whole place. I have the 5D in hand. So I just stumbled upon this hole right here, just taking pictures on the top of this, I don't know what you want to call it. It's my rod. Should I go in that cave? And go investigate what's in this cave. Realistically, I just gotta take a piss, so I think it looks like a quiet place for me to just take a piss. It rained earlier, so fuck. I don't think they have homeless out this motherfucker. Jesus. All the way down there. I'm just gonna take a piss right here. Coming back down, I must have taken a nap because all of a sudden now it's nighttime. And so right now I'm going to the main castle, Castle IBIZA. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, Castle IBIZA, which is at the top of this hill, and that's where we had dinner. So I'm racing to the city. As you can see, I'm passing all the clubs too. Pasha is on my right side. Now I'm downtown, and Ibiza is definitely a live town. The weather was great. The weather was great the first 3 days I was there. When I went to this jet ski on the other side of the island, Port San Antonio, that's when it was raining. Lucky for me, I beat the rain because we got the jet ski and I barely beat the storm. But yeah, so a lot of times they don't let a lot of vehicles that don't have a permit, proper permit, in the castle area. But because I'm on a little scooter, I was okay to bypass a lot of these little pathways and barricades and whatnot. So look at how easy it is to find parking. So I'm in the Bay Area, I'm in the Bay side. So right now, I'm on the back holding the 5D on the back of the golf cart, and I put the GoPro on the front of the golf cart. I'm talking to Roser's boyfriend, there's a couple other people on the golf cart. We're going to this restaurant.
This is how we should be traveling the island the whole time. Brilliant.
They do rent electric cars, it's pretty expensive.
Oh, is it? This is taking us up there?
Yeah, somewhere there.
Oh, wow. I'm such a tourist. Well, this is like its own community, right? This little castle place where...
Yeah, man. Now it's quite a lot. Mostly gypsy were living here.
Oh,
they're trying to exlocate them.
Oh,
They want to make this as like a luxury place.
Oh, wow.
Gypsy are not so easily like that.
Yeah, it was like a 20-minute trek on this golf cart to the top of this hill where this castle is. That was kind of interesting because you can see, I'm just trying to show you guys as much of the town as possible. That's me on the back hanging out with the 5D, and then got the GoPro on the front. That's what the view is during the night, and that's what the view is during the day.
Yeah, they use the handbrake.
Oh, they use the handbrake.
Only the handbrake, there's no brake.
Oh, crap. You know, if we crash, they're gonna pad
Sure,
up all.
there's no insurance.
Yeah.
You crash, but you better wish you're not there. Oh, you have like a...
I'm American. I don't have health insurance anyway.
Insurance maybe, otherwise you're fucked.
Yeah.
So that's Roser's boyfriend right there. Me and him were just laughing the whole time. He was talking so much shit
Yeah.
just about the driving, how there's no brakes on this thing. There's just a handbrake. He's surprised this person even has a license.
It's like the daytime. It's so bright. Just with
And I wish I remembered their names. I'm so sorry. Roser's boyfriend on the right, and the other dude on the left. So this is some of their Roser's friends all shopping. This is a trendy spot called Hector in the city. All local made stuff that she's rocking. And there was some cool stuff in there. Not my style per se, but there was definitely some cool stuff. So now we're in Pasha, and the DJ was Solomon. It was a flower party, a flower power party, all about peace and love. That's why everyone is, and you know it's Pasha when you see those cherries. And everyone's all about love and peace, almost like a Woodstock 70s type of theme, peace signs. And I was definitely not dressed for the occasion. So Roser and her boyfriend came out, and it's boring to them because they live there. But they were entertaining me, and I'm going around just documenting everything, meeting people, ladies taking shots. And then at one point, Roser and her boyfriend decided to take off. So I was on my own, but I had already met some friends. So it was just such a cool experience being in these wild clubs. And this is pretty much how it was all week. Just clubs go, of course, no, a lot of people are doing drugs, a lot of people are drinking. I don't really mess around. Take that back, I don't mess around at all. But I still manage to have a good time, especially when I meet another girl who's sober. So I remember her name, Angelica, who was also sober. She was from Spain, Madrid, and me and her just pretty much partied all night after Roser and her boyfriend left. It was just me and her and just the celebration. It was it was really a wild night. And this was like the first night I partied. This is day 2. There she is right there. Angelica. And she kind of was giving me a tour around the place because she's been to Ibiza at least 3 times. And so that was a good night. Everyone was good, everyone was lit. So day 3, back on the bike. And I told Roser and her boyfriend I'll link with them later that night. And Angelica was gonna come out with me later that night as well. And I decided to go to the other side of the island. So right now I'm going to Port San Antonio to see how they play. And I had a couple of different angles with the GoPros, as you can see. I wanted to keep it interesting for you guys. I don't make it too boring, but I definitely want to show you guys the island. Of course, the weather was perfect. Skies were blue. I had the iPod on, and at this time, this was, like I said, this is September, and I just had the music cranking and me flying to the other side of the island. Like I said, it took probably about an hour. And so when I got there right away, we're taking a jet ski tour. I'm on the boat. All these guys were Scottish and Irish. Didn't understand their accent. They had to repeat things like 3 times because their accents were so thick. And so it was a jet ski tour. So, you can't frown on a jet ski. It was such a good time. So and me and this other Irish guy, we kept racing. And the whole thing of this tour is we're not supposed to pass the Zodiac. So there's a Zodiac, which is pretty fast. A pretty fast boat. It's like a sped up, it's like a fast dinghy. And this Zodiac was flying, and me and him were like passing the Zodiac because we kept gunning it. And I just wanted to put the GoPro on and document everything. So, you see, there's the Zodiac right there. No, that's another jet ski. That was the Irish dude that me and him kept racing back and forth. And I was like, yo, you got to get in the middle, because he's got to get in the middle between, it's the Zodiac, me, and him. So I decided to turn the GoPro around. There's the Zodiac up front right there, and I wasn't thinking because, of course, the water's splashing all on the GoPro. What I really appreciated was these rocks. Like, I was able to jump off and swim, and the rocks right there were just so cool on the coast. Reminded me of Portugal. And so my Irish counterpart right there, he didn't want to jump off in the water. So we're just zooming through all these rocks. It's such a good time. I wish I could get on the Zodiac, because the Zodiac was even faster. But just to zoom through these rocks, it was just super cool. And I would definitely do that again. I mean, I kept going in circles because I didn't want the tour to end. But we had the jet skis a good 40 minutes, to be honest with you. And but I knew I had to get back to the other side of the island, so for dinner, because we were all going out to dinner. So, but man, you do not, you know what I mean? Just jet skis, it's just a fun time. And I'm waving to some other, I think there was like another jet ski tour. You guys, if you ever get a chance, go to Port San Antonio, get the jet skis. This guy did not, my tour guide did not give a shit what I did on the jet ski. He just was like, yo, it's all good, do your thing, have fun. Some of these tours, they want you to go a certain miles an hour and all this stuff, but when you're just in the open water like that, it's so fun. And you see Port San Antonio, people are parasailing in the background, you know, waiting on the next tour. Such a good time. So back on the Honda, or whatever kind of scooter that was, and I'm zooming at it. As you can see, that big rain cloud is coming. So the weather was, and that's another thing about my tour guide. He was like, yo, we got to get in, because he didn't feel like getting wet. So we beat the storm in. I'm zooming back, which is super simple to figure out the island. It's an island, it's very easy. And I just jumped on the bike and shot back to the other side of the island. This is downtown Port San Antonio. So when I got back to the side, I just got changed, and Roser decided to take me to the Blue Marlin. Blue Marlin Ibiza, which is definitely a jump off spot, because after that we went to Pasha, the restaurant. So Pasha's a huge spot. So on one side it's a club, the other side is the restaurant. Of course she knows the chef. You see the cherries, you know it's Pasha. So she knew the chef and the general manager. So we pretty much, like I said, got taken care of. Shout out to Roser, I miss you. And this place was so good. The food was delicious, and they had a pole in there for some reason, and dancers. So hey, I'm not gonna knock that. It's Ibiza. It was a good time. The dancers were doing their thing. I love this place. I'm definitely going back to Ibiza. Once again, I appreciate you guys watching my channel. Thank you so much. Feel free to subscribe to me on Instagram, Also Cliche or Tatted Passport. Of course, subscribe to my YouTube, Russ Dunn. I'm definitely gonna keep the videos coming. I appreciate you guys watching my trip to Ibiza. Thanks, guys.